Hello. What's the story, guys? What is going on? Are you well? Hold on a second. I'm just going to put this on mute. Who's in the comments? Any crack? Are you over the turkey and ham? No, the fucking crack that we didn't have. It's been a rough couple of weeks. Not a lot's been happening. So who's it? Yeah, it's been Rona Central in Ireland. Is there anyone that's outside of Ireland that hasn't had the Omicron crack going on? As you can see, we're doing there's two watching. Well, welcome to the Dead Hedgehogs, guys. Yeah, jump into the comments. Tell me where you are. Have you been Rona'd up? We've been getting the fucking Omicron. Mad couple of weeks. Yeah, so myself, Cowboy will be on in a couple of minutes. Cowboy's going to be busy this Saturday. So you know yourself. VOA FYL. I don't know what that means, Tabitha. VOA FYL. Is that some sort of code for me? I don't know what it means. Yeah, this Omicron crack has been absolutely shitbuzz. Ruined the Christmas. No one's gone anywhere. I know a few guys that were at the 3 Bucks Left gigs. In between, like they went ahead and got great crowds out, but yeah, fucking pubs closed left, right, and center at the moment. So don't think we'll be seeing gigs for a couple of weeks. Who's out there? You know? I was going to go through a few things, just read out the headlines from the news. Is there any good news in it? No? Yeah. You know yourself. Apparently you won't have to get tested before you come into Ireland anymore, which is going to be good. That'll be a bit of crack. What wonders, like, is every country going to do that? You know? Fucking saw earlier on that there's like 500 false positives because of one testing kit. It's like, right. So these what is it? Gen Rui antigen tests should be removed from shelves of Irish retailers because they had 500 false positives. Fucking disaster. I see 3 people are in there now in the mix. Who's there? Jump into the comments. Give me some stuff to chat about with you guys before Cowboy gets on. And you know what Cowboy's like. He likes to steal the show. That's Cowboy's MO, you know. Oh, he's coming in now. He's coming in hot. Can you hear me, Stephen? You're coming in hot, man. You're coming in.
Can you hear me?
Hot.
Can you hear me?
I can. What's the crack, my old sage?
Great now, Grand. Sorry, I am a little bit delayed. Just the way I am, you know.
Not like you.
Yeah. I'd be late for my own funeral.
You fucking would. They're very shy in the comments so far. Not like them from the Dead Hedgehogs guys.
Very, very unlike them. Funny enough, I can't see the comments once again. What's that about? I'm going to have to sort that out.
Well, there's only been one comment, and it's from Tabitha Webb, and it says VOA FYI, and I was like, I don't know what that means.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
VOA.
Your VOA for your information. I don't know what VOA means. What's the crack with yourself?
The crack with myself is, well, I just wanted to I meant to get a live done earlier. It's a bit late, but at least we'll be able to save this, and anyone that watches it when it's not live, at least it'll explain what is happening on Saturday. Because I was thinking today, as I was doing my last, we say, longish run before Saturday, that we use this route a lot. The reason we use this route a lot is because it's off-road, which means it's safe.
Yeah.
It's off-road, but it's hard ground, and I love hard ground. And B, it's safe. It means there's no cars, and that way we don't need a safety car or a support units like we would when we were doing the Mayo route. But the only problem with it is the reception is terrible.
Which is no harm.
Which is no harm, but we'll be doing. We will be doing. Sorry, I'm trying to do something here first. Just give me 2 seconds.
Rachel Coyne is in the chat. She
Hi,
goes,
Rachel.
Hey lads, good to see a couple of live streams lately from you. Keep them coming. Any podcast live?
We will, and I'm meant to do more during this week. Is the video okay? Because I've had no time to check it out. Is it okay? Can you see me okay?
You're ideally framed.
Perfect. Listen,
Well,
yeah.
So I've got to say, I'm impressed with our beard game. I think the beards are looking
yours is really up in the last few weeks as well. Since Christmas.
I had to fucking have a good word with it. I was like, come on, man. We got to get you back on track to where you once were, your former glories.
My own needs to be a little trimmed. I was going to shave it a lot, but a lot of people said no.
I know.
It'd really please. I know it'd really please me out, lad.
Outlaw Barber reckons that the beard is rocking cowboy. The beard is actually wearing you now. He's right.
Yeah.
It's actually the beard is going to be doing all the running, and you're going to just be there for the ride.
I could deal with that, no problem.
Shane O'Toole goes, all good lads. Shane,
I can actually see the comments now. This is what I wanted to do the last night, but Pete was like, no, we don't need that one. But now I can see the comments the way I used to be able to see them.
Yeah, it's handy that, so it is.
Yes.
P.S. Whatever became of that David Weiss podcast? So David Weiss is the flat earther.
He's a really nice guy.
He's a prick. Well, whoever is doing his social media is a prick anyway. And I think it's hard. The one thing about podcasts, and Stephen, I know, it's easy for me and him to just jump on here and chat, right? Yeah. Because we just get a time that you're free, I'm free.
Yeah.
Set it up and go.
Yeah, there's no bones about it. It's like we're not going on Saturday Night Live with, I don't know whoever does Saturday Night Live or anything. I mean, but he was a dick. They were like a dick about it. It had to be done. And the thing is, they asked us.
And then then they come back to us and then giving me a selection of dates that are 6 weeks down the line. I'm like, we don't know we're free 6 weeks down the line. We don't
even know if we're free in 6 hours.
No, and that's the thing. It's like between us, we're all busy with work and one thing and another, and work is intense for all of us.
Yeah.
So this is just a good outlet to have a laugh and to take the piss out of you, really.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, throw that and the fact that we're wild lads in the best of times, and throw the live shows into the mix and family and everything. You know, it is time. You know, I'd love to be all day, every day doing stuff like this.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
If it was a possibility, you would.
David Weiss.
David Weiss. I've nothing against him, but like debating whether the Earth is a globe fucking flying through space or a petri dish in someone's fucking back garden.
But the thing about it was if it was us that was hunting that lad down,
you'd go out of your way for him.
You'd go out of your way, but the fact that like he 3 or 4 times he's approached us to do a podcast, and then he was dictating when we could do it.
Yeah. There's
anyway,
serious.
Forget about him. We're giving him too much kudos already.
Yeah. You never know. It
But
might
yeah,
happen again, but like, and it's an argument I would gladly fucking have.
gladly, gladly.
Yeah.
Um,
It is what it is. But yeah, Rachel, it might happen, might not.
so anyway, so as I was explaining why we use this route, it's off-road, it's safe, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, some lovely
So
shots.
let's start before you go into the route itself.
Yeah.
Just tell the guys what you're doing first.
Well, we're running from Ackle to Westport. It's just over the marathon distance. It's for a lad called Conor Burke.
Yeah.
He's 22 years of age. He is at 18. He was diagnosed with EDS. It's EDS. It's a
Yeah.
muscular.
So it's a degenerative muscular
exactly.
disease. So his muscles are breaking down.
Exactly, and he's in a lot of pain at the minute, and he needs an operation in Barcelona. So he needs an operation in
Which,
Barcelona.
in fairness, does seem like it seems very attainable. It's not like he has to be sent to fucking West Coast America for 6 months.
Yeah. But the problem with this is it's going to cost the guts of, if not more than, €160,000, which is painful for his family to try and comprehend. The fact that there's a price put on this lad's life, which there is on so many different lives. I'd love to live in a world where
this should be just taken care of.
Yeah, it should be just taken care of. There shouldn't be a price put on these sort of operations. Obviously, doctors have to be paid, but I can guarantee you there's plenty of money in the world. There's plenty of money wasted in the world needlessly. That there's no reason.
At the end of the day, healthcare business, so
yeah, exactly. But anyway, so Connor's mother, Lisa, contacted us just before Christmas, and she said, would I be able to do a video? And at the time, I think I was with Pete at the time, and we were up in Galway, and I just felt it was the right thing to do, just more than a video. When I read the story, it was just the right time as well. It would have been just after Christmas. We like to do something like this at this time of year, like we done last year, because.
So last year you did it for Rory
Gallagher, yeah. Rory Gallagher, another beautiful cause, and still needs funding as well. Rory's wish to walk is Rory suffered from multiple sclerosis.
No, I thought. No, something along those lines. They'll come back to me though.
Yeah, I can't.
Wasn't MS?
It wasn't.
I don't think. It might have been. I'll actually just look it up on here.
Do. But the thing is, so yeah, we done the exact same marathon distance on New Year's Day that day. It's great for us as well. It's great to keep us focused. It kept me probably from drinking a lot more pints over the Christmas. And it's a great way to start the year off as well. The fact that you're doing a marathon, you're focused. There's a great sense of achievement after doing a marathon, especially for a beautiful cause. The reason we do things like this is we don't have to so quickly after Christmas. It's easy for us because all we have to do is turn up on the day, do a few posts. We're not the ones that organise the charity like we did for Dublin to Mayo or the Mayo Mayo Roscommon run where we ran the coast to Mayo. That was intense. That took, the Dublin one took months of preparation. The Mayo one was easier because we learned a lot from the Dublin one. And
plus we had a better way of delegating.
Oh yeah, and plus we had, no offense to Beaumont Foundation.
The Irish Mayo Roscommon Hospice.
Mayo Roscommon Hospice were far superior and easier to deal with run machine when it came to fundraising and organising the event. In fact, Angelina Nugent, who has since left Mayo Roscommon Hospice, but still, I know it's close to her heart. She was fantastic to work with.
someone that we've done a number of podcasts with since.
Yes, and we must do again. I just see a few comments there, so I'm just going to check them out. Outlaw Barber, I think we follow each other on Instagram. I'm an American, but I am half Irish, half German. A nice mix, which means I'm capable of planning and starting a party, but completely incapable of stopping it.
A better man.
Yeah, the Irish don't like planning. You're right, but we like parties.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't mind the planning part myself. It's just it's like trying to do something like you're doing on Saturday with zero rep. Like it was actually, when I think back, it was actually a lot more stress inducing when you did the Dublin to Mayo run in 3 days.
You see, it was Chris in so many different ways, because we were confident, but underneath you're always, well, I was confident. I know Pete was like freaking out at some stage.
Yeah. You're having an epic freak out.
You don't know if you're going to be able to do it, especially after such a long run in of saying that you're going to do this and do that, and being on radio stations and everything. And really and truly, I wasn't a marathon runner. I hadn't ran a marathon until about 4 or 5 months before that.
Yeah.
But I was just like, as Pete said as well, strength and brute ignorance will see it through. And I knew I had that in spades.
Yeah.
So
well, you're ignorant, right? You're definitely ignorant.
Well, sometimes it's a blessing. Sometimes it's a massive blessing.
100%, I agree.
But but you're always worried that you won't be able to do it, and then we were able to do it. Then any challenge after that was, I was probably, do you know what, Chris? Looking back now, the first day we ran 1 or 2K from Dublin to Mullingar, and we went around the long way. Like I added about 13 kilometers onto that I didn't need to, just because I wouldn't get into the car to cross the motorway. Looking back now, I would have known what I know now. I would have.
You wouldn't have killed yourself that first day.
Yeah, exactly. I would have just gone.
And it's those 13 kilometers that did all the damage.
I know it was. Yeah, I know it was. It damaged psychologically as well. We got through it in the end, but
of course, and it was just so late. And then, like, the one thing that we learned the most is that the more time you fucking flake around in the morning to get started, the harder the day's going to be. You can get going and get into a rhythm and start moving. Like, and that can be a lot easier with a smaller group, smaller, tight little unit that's going to get you up and go, right, 8 o'clock, lads, we're having breakfast. 8:30, we're on the road. And if everyone's in that frame of mind that 8 o'clock, we're having breakfast as a group. But we couldn't do that. Like, I think we got going until after 10:30 the day after leaving Mullingar, because you had done such a mammoth effort, and trying to fucking get going then was so hard.
Yeah.
You know? And I could have fucking been kicking around trying to make things go a little bit more, but that wouldn't have been fair either.
Yeah, well, that was it. Well, that was the Dublin thing, is it?
Yeah, leaving Mullingar.
Yeah, but you said you said something earlier, and that was right. The damage was done when I wouldn't get it, when I went around the long way just because I wouldn't cross the motorway. Looking back now, that was a silly thing to do.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, no one would have even known.
No.
But I wouldn't allow it in my own brain.
Which, you wanted to walk and run every bit of that road, and you wanted, in fairness, you wanted the punishment in a way.
Yeah, well, sort of, yeah. And I was just, for the sake of getting into the car, just to cross over the motorway.
Yeah. But look, again, there's a part of me that I can understand. And like, there was another part when just coming into Mullingar where it was me, you, and Pete, and then the other car was there, and like it was getting really late and it was really slow, it was really hard, It's all up hills out in this back road. And I remember going to the other car. It's like, guys, one thing's for sure, 100% sure. If you're here and I'm here, they're not getting into the car. But if I'm here on my own, there's a chance I might be able to get the lads to jump in the car for 5 minutes and get out of the fucking pitch black. So would you fuck off home? So I said that to them, and they wouldn't go. I was like,
that's right. I do know that the worry, but in my head as well, it was making it worse because I was like, I'm keeping them out as well. I wish they'd just go to the hotel.
Yeah.
There was 3 cars. There was 3 cars hovering around us in the back arse of nowhere, the back arse of Westmeath. And do you remember Aoife Frere? God love her. She came out of nowhere and she came running down the road and gave me a big hug. I thought every bone in my body was going to break.
I could see your face going, this is the last thing I need.
yeah. But I love her to bits, but great friend.
I don't. Again, it's one of those things that, run from Dublin. Like it would go over your head. Running from Dublin, grand. And then like when you get to Mullingar, you're like, fucking hell, it's an epic bit of a journey. Like, especially when you hadn't done. I'd say you'd actually handle it a lot better if you did it again. Like physically,
way better. I wouldn't put myself through the punishment. Pete wanted to do it in 4 days, and looking back now, he was probably right. We could have done 3 days and then finish off on a half day.
Yeah,
and we had the option because it was a bank holiday. It was Easter bank holiday. We could have gone on Friday.
It would have still been as hard.
It would have been hard, but time-wise, we would have had more time. It wouldn't have been.
It's funny how, like, just in spells that you found it differently, like extremely difficult individually. Like that, the end of that second day, where we were going into the past Longford, like Pete was in a bad way.
He was in a bad way. He said that was the closest he came to quitting.
Oh, he was fucking punishing, like. But look, again, you come through these things, and like I said, what the one thing that I learned from all of it is that there was too much being left to you to make a decision. And
you see, but that was my own fault as well. All the way leading up to it, I'd let myself done way too much. I was trying to delegate everything because in my head, that run was personal.
Yeah, of course.
It was because Beaumont had saved my life. It was a personal payback for them. So I knew that everything, especially Pete, what I was putting him through, was all because of me.
Which is at the same time, you almost have to let go of that as well. You have to be.
It was different. It was different for the Mayor of Roscommon run but then it was the two of us made the decision. It was him just as much as me.
Yes, absolutely.
So it wasn't as much a personal burden on mine, and we like that as well. We were a lot sharper. We were a bigger machine. We had a bigger page as well. That made an awful difference. So we didn't need to be pushing as much,
Yeah. And there was, as you said, it was about delegating it better, making it.
Yourself was very good as well, and Lisa was brilliant as well.
I want to shout out Outlaw Barber that gave us $250 in the super chat. Absolutely legend. He said, hopefully we'll can of the off license. Unfortunately, just about to get a lot more expensive.
Yeah. But listen, thank you so much, man. The prices have over doubled in Ireland for cans of drink. With some crazy rule, but that's for another podcast. I mean, the idea of raising the drink, hoping that it'll stop people binge drinking, is absolutely bullshit. They tried it in Scotland, it didn't work, it backfired. All it did was take the food out of children's mouths.
But that's why I was going to say it's actually an attack. It's a classist attack more than anything.
Exactly. If an alcoholic or someone that wants a few cans or alcohol, they're going to get it. They're going to get it one way or another. If they have to take the food out of their kids' mouths, that's unfortunately, we live in a world like that.
If you look at it, like the price, if you want to buy a bottle of gin, if Molly wants to buy a bottle of gin in Dalkey, she ain't going to be charged anymore. but it's the cheap
Yeah,
can,
exactly. Yeah.
the cheap can of Galahad in Lidl that might get some fucking alcoholic through the day.
Yeah.
It's
It's
I don't know who
but
put.
listen, Outlaw Barber. Thank you so much.
You're an absolute legend.
Yeah, thank you. And Glenn, I just want to get back to Glenn. He brought up the topic of Glen K8. Crazy stuff. It is just mental. It doesn't make any sense. It's not going to make any difference. In fact, it's going to
he reckons we'll be making Puchin and Hooch if we have to. Might make a video of making some Puchin for the crack.
Well, I have a few ideas. I have a few ideas coming down the line. I literally can't. I do be making the videos, but I literally, there's so many things going on at the minute that you could make so much fun of.
Yeah.
I can't actually keep up with them. They're changing every day.
We'll do a few sketches and we'll which will probably be involved in. Do you know what? We could do like a great Irish Puchin making off. Like great British Bake Off, but we'll be
that's a brilliant idea, and we could do the tasting.
Yeah, we'll do the tasting. So hey, Glenn, make your own Puchin and we'll fucking get stuck into it.
But but that's we'll actually do it. I'd love to get I'd love to get two politicians, one against it and one off it. And like you were saying about your idea, but have them debating the pros and cons.
The idea of minimum pricing in theory is a good idea, but the fact that it affects some portions of society disingenuously, the ones that have the least amount of money, and I just think that is just a poor way of going about any policy. If it affects one portion of society and makes their life harder,
Yeah, well, look, it's an attack on the
working class.
Working class, yeah. They tried it in Scotland, and we're a very similar nation.
Yeah, of course.
And we especially our attitude towards alcohol.
They're very similar.
They should have just looked at the Scottish.
They're Celts.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I think we're closer to Scotland than England are to Scotland in genetics.
Oh, definitely. Well, we have a shared Celtic heritage going back way beyond thousands of years, whereas you're talking about Anglo-Saxons and Normans that invaded England. That's where the majority of their DNA is going to come from, whereas ours would be the original Celts that would have lived in Scotland and Ireland.
Scotland, Ireland, bits of Wales, and also North France.
Yeah,
Brittany. Yeah. Anyway, so getting we're getting off topic now. So getting back to
it was cerebral palsy that Rory Gallagher had.
Cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
I think I've made that mistake a couple of times.
Yeah, look, it's no.
Anyway, I actually went on Midwest around the same time, and I actually think I said it was a mess. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's still we raised some money investment.
Yeah. But again, like anything for someone that needs some help, obviously that young boy Rory Gallagher, he needs community help.
Yeah.
Like this lad that we're doing, what's his name? That you're
doing. Conor Byrne.
He needs community help to get what should be, in my opinion, government provided help.
Yeah, 100%.
He needs the right type of treatment that can only be provided can't even be provided in this country. So for anyone that wants to help out, that's always going to there'll be plenty of links. If you can throw a couple of quid, it makes a big difference. If not, just share a video or
share a video, share a link, do anything. Just let someone. You
don't know who it's going to affect in your own life, and you might need help.
Exactly, and and we'll be here if I've done so many I've done so many videos, and I do them with a heart and a half for charity shout outs, you know. I'd love to do more. The thing is, I'd love to do more. If I could run, for every problem in the world, I'd be running all day long. But
Yeah,
you know, obviously, I can't physically do it all the time.
yeah.
But I'll do it.
No one is
I'll
ever
do as much as I can.
no one expects one man to do something like that. So like, unfortunately, like, and obviously working on the page alongside you in the 3 Bucks Left page and the Dead Hedgehogs page, we get messages from people that are looking for shout outs all the time for the most noble cause. They always get a shout. So what difference does it make?
Yeah.
You know,
And I think as well, like you see other pages or whatever, and they'll just share the link or whatever. But I do actually think doing actually the quick 30-second video, just explaining what the story is about, or I think it works a little bit better. It's more like from the heart instead of just share the picture of the actual link.
well, that makes perfect sense.
Some people it'll turn people off. Some other people will admire it. This is just the way I do it, and Pete does it as well.
At the end of the day, it's your page, so you know if people don't like it, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, well then again, if someone's going to not follow you or not like your page anymore because you had a shout out for a video, well then did you really want them on the page in the first place?
Exactly. You know, Shane O'Toole says, Stephen, love the TikToks, man. Hilarious stuff. Enjoy the rest of the chat and all the best with the fundraising, lads. Might catch you at the next cartoon. I'm guessing that might be gig.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Listen, Shane, thank you so much. And I literally just, if I had all the ideas that were going through my head in the last few days of videos about all sorts, if I could get them all done. But then again, I'm like, if I put up 3 or 4 a day, people would just get sick of it.
Yeah, of course it would. You know, like you have to pick and choose your battles, like, you know, with any of these.
Yeah, like I put an awful lot up lately, and I'm nearly like, you can super saturate the, you know, eventually
it's also time consuming stuff, like.
Yeah. And some of them only take 5 minutes, or some of them, like last night's one about the Colombian jungle dust. That just came, but I was trying to do a different angle altogether, and then it just wasn't working. And then I said, but there's something there, and then I just said, fuck it, I'm going to go this quick short route, and bang, it just worked.
Sometimes the most simple things is the way to go.
Yeah. But you're like, there you go.
Like another run along a route that you like. I think that's always a good shout on a good way to start the new year as a group, just to hang out. That in a way that's not fucking going on the beer, you know. Obviously,
look, it just, I know we had it. I know we let the ears back a bit over the gigs, myself and Pete, but we didn't go too bad. I can just only imagine how bad we would have gone if we hadn't a marathon to run for. But
at the same time, like fucking, like the way things are at the moment, you imagine if you could have fucking gone full hog and things were open till 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, as they're supposed to be. You wouldn't be any worse, like.
Probably not. Isn't it a great? It's a great way to be, that we know that, like, we can do a marathon, or I can do a marathon without really putting in an awful lot of.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you can.
Well, yeah.
But like
Pete would as well, apart from his knees. He just has.
You're training all the time, like, and it's something that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
You know,
but it's passionate about me, because if I didn't do it, it's the other way around. If I didn't do it, I'd lose my head. I literally would go nuts.
Yeah,
I would go nuts, Chris. If I haven't ran in after 2 days.
Well, I know, I personally have seen you when.
Yeah, I get awful cranky, like, and I'm not a cranky person. No. Even though we were just saying this the other day, when I do my videos, it's completely the opposite to how I actually am.
Yeah. Like,
I'm not a cranky person, but if I haven't ran, I just like freak out. I could be running late for important meetings, and if I haven't ran, I'm just going to put on the shoes and I'll sort it out after, because I have to get my head straight.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be able to do the run and clear my head, knowing that I'd have an important meeting to to fucking find an excuse for. Like
Yeah.
I would just do the meeting and then go for a run.
Yeah. No, it'll be the other way around. Because I'd be sitting through the meeting just like
That's why you're mental.
Huh?
That's why you're mental.
So actually finally the room is starting to heat up a bit.
It's fucking Baltic there this evening.
Yeah, it's Baltic here. It's Baltic here, and the fire hasn't been on properly in ages. I need to tidy up the studio as well, and get it working back in order again.
Yeah. Things seem to after fucking what was a real how did you find the Christmas? It felt like a very weird Christmas this year.
Well, it was. Do you know what? I had a good run into it because we had the gigs leading up to it. I never got a chance to, and then I had my all my kids on the day, and I had all my loved ones around me. Just the way it worked out, and it was a beautiful day. And then we were straight back into 3 gigs, 27, 28, 29, and that was just brilliant. We great crack. The gigs went very well. The only one I was a little bit disappointed in was the actual home one, the one in Westport. We were not demoted to well, we were demoted to a different type of room, and it wasn't what I was expecting in my head. And I'd already built up this. I'm going to come in from this angle, that angle. The sound is going to be class. We landed. It was basically a presentation room, and it sort of knocked me a little bit. And I shouldn't have let it knock me, but it did. But I picked it up then for
that happens as well. Like when
yeah. You see, once you think you've cracked it, that's when you're going to be letting yourself down. You see, we had prepared so much, and we had such beautiful gigs before the Christmas that all I had to do was walk on again, and I never let that happen again. And I know I've said that before, and I won't ever let it happen again. It was still like everyone loved it. It just I should have been a little bit more prepared.
I think as long as everyone enjoyed themselves, and
plus as well, do you know what threw me as well on the same day? Pete, just for some reason, he wanted to do an antigen test, and I was like, "What?"
I was there.
I know you were there. And we were like it's 4 hours to the show. I was like. He went and he got the antigen test, and I was like, what if it's positive? We're going to have to cancel the whole the 3 nights, the 3 shows that we'd actually sold the most tickets for.
Yeah.
And I was like I was, and I don't get nervous. I was actually nervous. It was I would have rather if he was taking a pregnancy test.
We did that live in the bar there, the 3 of us, so we were chatting, right, for half.
That's right.
And you were. Like you still hadn't come down off that.
Yeah.
Like
I was like
started, and you were still paced around the kitchen. I was like, I will just start, and he'll come in. Shout out to Patrick Keelty here. He threw in a €10 super chat. Said
Patrick, thank you so much, man. And you done that the last day as well. You're an absolute gem.
Top man.
Well, what we'll do is we'll get your number, Patrick, and we'll text you every time we're doing a live, just so that you can smile.
Individually, I'll text and Pete will text you. Pete won't even be on the stream and he'll text you.
Yeah. What's that from Christy Bradley?
Christy Bradley, €10 as well. Another legend.
Cheers, Christy. Just thanks, guys.
Great old name, Christy. You can.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Colin O'Reilly, well, boys. How are things, Colin? Are you well? When are you coming down here for pints, Colin?
Okay.
Wow, thanks, guys. Thanks to Outlaw Barber, Patrick, and Christy. Just fair play, guys. So yeah, where were we?
What was I going to say? I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, it's not. Look, I had a lovely Christmas. Quiet Christmas, didn't spend really, like it was handy in one way, but it was missing crack, and people weren't.
There was a huge miss in that respect.
It was lovely in terms of spending time with the family. It was one of the best Christmases for that, because there was no like mad rush to get something done and then head out and meet the lads and head off somewhere else. So there was none of that. You were just chilling out and hanging out with the family. And we got fucking rightly pissed a couple of nights and had a good laugh between ourselves. But
And
it was missing.
what?
It was missing a wild one in there.
Just one or two, one maybe each side of it. You see, the thing is, I didn't miss out as much as everyone else did because I had a gig on the 22nd in Limerick,
Yeah.
which was great crack, and then I knew I was going back into the 27th for 3 nights in a row.
Yeah.
So I knew that I had that, so I didn't miss that. So, and as for New Year's, I've explained this in the last podcast. I was never a fan of New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I've had disasters. I've spent most of them outside when the 12 o'clock, and not in a good way. I was working for a couple of them. I lost family members another time, and probably fights and breakups in the middle of that when I was even younger. So it was just a horrible time. So by the time the run into Christmas, Christmas itself, and then the run out of Christmas, New Year's is like, just let's get this done and over with.
I can't remember the last epic New Year's Eve. I had one epic New Year's Eve a couple of years ago when I was living in Montpellier Hill in Dublin with Dan Riley, and these two girls came from Austria, and they were came over. They were couch surfing, and
you came over the couch.
They stayed on the couch.
Oh,
Fuck, one of them was cracker altogether. So anyway, Shane, who used to live with us, had been texting this girl for months, building up the New Year's Eve in Dublin, and he'd been chatting away to her, and we went to what was the name of the pub? It's gone now, so it's on Dame Street there. They had you could smoke weed in the smoking area or whatever, but when you went in there, I think it was called Sweeney's now.
okay.
So you pay €50 win, right? So €50 for New Year's Eve. They give you a cup, and then basically it was free drink for the night.
Wow.
Hold on to your cup, get up and down to the bar. Absolutely balubas drunk.
A cup?
It was like a pint glass. They give you a pint glass, and then you go up and down and fucking get absolutely smashed, right? I'm sure obviously we had a great girl night with the Austrian girls. Shane didn't get his oats, which was brilliant. I might have put a fly in the ointment there for him, but I had a great night.
Wouldn't be like it.
But we had a fucking that was probably about 8 years ago. That was the last epic New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I haven't had an epic one, I'd say, since I was early teens, and I wasn't even drinking. I was a late drinker. I didn't drink until I was nearly 18. But by Christ, I made up for it when I started.
You did. I'll give you that. You gave it.
I did, yeah. I spent about nearly 3 years. How I ended up doing as much as I did. I spent definitely 2 years where I can barely remember. Which is shocking. Which is no boast. I see a few here. Christy is a Cavan man. Fair play. I'll never say a bad word about Cavan people again.
Oh, neither would I. I've got some good friends up in Cavan.
Patrick, well deserved. The last chats you bring. Cheers, Patrick. You're an absolute gentleman. Yeah. So listen. Yeah. So that was it. New Year's. I've had some absolute stinkers New Year's, but Christmas. I love Christmas.
I think obviously it's a lot down to the company you're in and whatever. Like I've had a couple of New Year's where it's like just kind of cruising in and hanging out with the parents and stuff like that. And that's all well and good, but you're never gonna have a fucking wild night out with mom and dad sitting in the corner.
You haven't been out with my dad.
Well, in fairness, he'd be well into the mix. He'd fucking
yeah. The problem with him when he's out is I'd be worried. I used to be worried what he'd do.
Yes.
You know, because for anyone that doesn't know my dad, he's 6'3" and there's very little change out of 30 stone.
No, that wouldn't.
With the widest pair of shoulders, you like when he sits on the odd time we go to mass, if it's a funeral or a commemoration or a wedding or something,
Yeah,
or a christening, like he takes up half the seat. He's just a wide big man, and he's a
I
daunting presence,
fucking, and he wouldn't be
and a lunatic to go with it.
afraid of throwing his weight around when he needs to either.
No. That was that's for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's the kindest heart of any man that you'd meet, but then when he flips, not that he ever did much, but when he's out, when he he was a wild buck back in the day.
No doubt.
So anyway, we've gone really off topic now. So yeah, so the run on Saturday, we plan on being there early-ish. We'll do most of the lives through Instagram. So check out the Instagram on 3 Bucks Left and Dead Hedgehogs page. The beauty I have now, I think I have it set up that once it goes on to Instagram stories, once it's direct from 3 Bucks Left,
Yeah.
it goes straight to the Facebook stories as well. So, but primarily we use Instagram because it's easier to upload.
Yeah, it works. It can work better.
Easier putting links in. Yeah,
it can work better when you have on a lower latency signal as well. It just seems to run a little bit easier than say Facebook or on or YouTube even. But like we'll give them all a go. I suppose from my end, I know the way that we've kind of got it split up is that I'll probably do a proper video about it this time. Don't think we've really nailed a video of.
No. We'll come up with a plan, not only for the run but for the actual recording of it this time.
Yeah. We're going to go give a better quality video to the guys that are going to be.
And that'll be for patrons on YouTube. That longer form, but on the day as it's happening.
Yeah,
I'll probably have a phone, and Pete. The beauty of Pete not running this time, and maybe just running segments of it, is he'll be able to work behind the cameras or in front of the camera as well.
With Pete not running it this year or not running as much, or maybe run a little bit and jump on the bike, he can. It's something we can work a little bit closer, myself and himself, on actually shooting it this time around. Yeah. Midlands Barbecue says, "Evening lads, absolute legend. Cheers for jumping on Midlands Barbecue." And
cheers. Cheers if it's a man or woman. But thanks very much for hopping on.
Christy Bradley says, "Only good New Year I had was in 2000. It was mental night. People waiting on stuff to stop and going getting Howard. He was only 17."
Yeah, well, it's all downhill from there on.
Yeah,
you're 17, 18.
Like that, you know what they say about New Year's Eve? It's an amateur's night anyway. So,
I used to think the same about
New Year's Day. Like, the real fucking Hallions would be out on New Year's Day.
Yeah. But it was just mental. But do you remember that year, the year 2000 as well? There was the fear of the Millennium Bug.
Yeah,
there was what really backfired for a lot of business, or a lot of nightclubs and pubs at the time. They thought it was going to be so busy, they started charging tickets.
Yeah,
like €100 to get in. €1,000 to get into the bigger ones, and then no one turned up to them.
Yeah.
So you have to play it smart. You have to play the long game. Like people cash in. It's like hotels when they know there's a North Ireland on, they raise the prices up, or there's a replay. The next thing, suddenly the prices are skyrocketing.
Yeah,
it'll all come back at you in the long run, I think. Anyway, well, it should do anyway.
Yeah, when you think the Millennium is 21 years ago, man, it's like it's such a big deal made of it at the time. Like, it was massive. Yeah.
Different.
It's a different world. Like, it's before 9/11. You could actually get on an airplane and fucking smoke to your heart's content. Like,
Jeez, can you do you know what? I was watching. what was I watching lately? And it was people getting up. It was at a concert, and people were getting up and they were shaking hands and hugging. And like, I actually, I actually like was like, oh, I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
not without no fear, without no mask, without, you know, people weren't nervous about being in each other's company, or, you know, but without feeling like you're doing something wrong. You know, not that after 4 or 5 pints I really give two fucks about masks or any of that shit anyway.
Shall I again?
But
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Jade Ellis is in the chat, says best of luck to the run. Jade, one of our best supporters. You couldn't get.
yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jed.
Midlands Barbie says he's an Offaly man, but don't hold that against him. And we won't hold that against you.
No, we done a show in Tullamore, isn't it, isn't it?
Yeah, sure is.
We done a show in Tullamore in Hugh Lynch's there on the couple of weeks before Christmas. It was very good. Big shout out to Leanne Farley in Tullamore as well. She's a good friend to the page.
Yeah.
So big shout out to Leanne. Check her out on Instagram and Facebook.
And Aries in the mix. He says, "Miss your YouTube Pearls of Wisdom shorts." There'll be plenty of them.
You know what? I need to start putting. We need to start putting them up again. I know that we put up a lot of them on TikTok and a lot of them on Instagram, but we need to start re-uploading them on YouTube as well.
Might do a month where one of us takes one each day and puts some. Myself.
Yeah. You see, it's the thing about YouTube is I do, like, I can barely work Instagram and Facebook, so I send them over to Chris, but Chris is doing his own thing. So by the time sometimes Chris gets the video, it might be too late to put up. They've already ran their course on the other platform, so it'll be like
just a time issue.
Yeah.
Like trying to keep
because videos have a very a finite time. If you're late with the video, if you're late with a video, if the moment is gone, it's lost. Yeah. So that's why a lot of my videos are done in the car when I hear it and I think about it quickly.
Yeah, you can
and that's why some of them do so well, because it's probably I'm the first one to think of it, because it was done on the spot.
Yeah, you're capturing a moment at the same time. But
exactly.
You do that, and like when you've got a camera phone, you could do that almost anywhere now. You could just you can put a crowd and get a video done within seconds if you.
And so sometimes as well, the light is terrible, but I have to get it out there because I won't have time in an hour's time or that. So sometimes I look like shite, you know. But it might be that I'm just after doing a run and I'm just in the car or whatever. So sometimes, but I've discovered, wait for that, Facebook, when you do it directly on TikTok, there's a nice little filter over it. You know, so there's a nice little shine in my face.
Yeah,
it's like having moisturizer on my face.
Yeah, I suppose if you put all of the same message, if you could record the same video 3 times, if you had the time to do the same video, words on each platform.
Yes. Yeah. I was thinking of that too, but sometimes you hit the money shot. You hit the money video. Something in a video, even the way you look or the makes it. If that, you don't even have to say something sometimes.
Yeah.
In the way you say it or the drop, you might do it 100 times again and not get that moment.
I'd say a lot of it would be, you'd probably better off just doing it on your phone, on the video, on your camera. And traditionally that's the way I do it. Yeah. That's the crack. So run on Saturday. We'll probably have the video cut for Monday, hopefully.
Yeah. That'll go to our patrons first, but most importantly, is the actual charity itself.
Yeah, what we might do.
Can you put the link up with this video, Chris?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What we'll probably do is do a podcast when we take a break. We'll probably do a Patreon only podcast from the side of the road.
Yeah.
And then what we'll do is we'll put the video out to everyone on the Monday. So we'll do something special for the Patreon. So if you would like to become a Patreon member, I'll actually put our link
do, and also do the GoFundMe link if you can as well. We'll be between now and Saturday, and even after Saturday, Sunday, we'll be sharing the link left, right, and center, so no one is going to miss it.
Yeah, like we'll.
And look, it's a bad time of year to be asking people for money, but then when is a good time of year as well at the same time.
And
we're not asking for your firstborn if you can, the price of a pint, and if you can't, no worries. Don't put, you're never on, no one's ever under pressure. And I know that there's a group of people that keep donating, and I feel so bad for them.
I know
but
that
I know
as
I know that they're a generous bunch.
well as we said before, right? And I don't mind saying this public, that you do your charity work by doing something like a charity run, right?
Mhm.
That's not going to be for everyone. So, but their way of supporting that charity is by supporting your run, and that is just as valid as the run you're going to undertake. Like,
Yeah, I know. I was like, I remember messaging a few of them, and I was like, nearly apologizing to them, and it was you that said, like, don't do that, because if they couldn't do it, they wouldn't do it.
they wouldn't do it. And we, like, look, we all give money to charity from time to time, charities that need the support that we can give them, or that mean a lot to us for whatever personal reasons. And Irish people, or Irish people, just are known in general as a country that goes above and beyond to help the charities that they need. Like,
100%. We're like, it's a strange one, because I think per head of population, we're the best. We're in the world. We're the biggest.
Yeah, but like a lot of people understand when we did the Mayo Roscommon Hospice. People understand that everyone in Mayo and Roscommon has a family member that relied on their services.
Mhm.
One of my family members is relying on their services right now in getting palliative care and nursing. That it should be government supported palliative care.
Yeah, it's not.
And it's not. It's Mayo Roscommon Hospice, the Irish Cancer Society. So people understand that they have to support that charity to get the support that they got for their own family.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no two ways about it,
That was a great, like, we were in like really the widest parts of the country, the most barren parts of the country, and people were coming out, and I can guarantee you these people weren't following Three Bucks Left, they weren't following Dead Hedges on Instagram. So how they even knew about it, it was just amazing to me.
Well,
and they were coming out giving us cash
to Belmullet and out Rossport. Like, you're talking about, like, you couldn't get, it's next stop America stuff, like.
Yeah,
and it's amazing.
And like, the people that were coming out were in their 70s, 80s.
Oh,
in great shape, but they're not on Instagram, they're not on Facebook.
Driving past, they might see the sign on the front of your car that says Mayo Roscommon Hospice, and they stop and they'd give you 20 quid, like.
That's right, yeah.
Because it's important, and as I said, the cause that you're running for, to give that young lad a fighting chance on Saturday, is important, and while you're doing it your way, everyone that supports or throws a couple of pound in, or supports another charity, or do whatever.
Yeah, any charity. Yeah,
that's just their way of doing things, and I think that's just as valid as doing any run anyway.
Yeah.
Look, be exciting weekend, and leave me a chance to hang.
It'll be a bit of crack as well. Plus as well, it's great for my head. It's great for the group of us getting together and doing something.
Hang out positive, with something else. Yeah.
So listen, Chris. We'll leave it at that. Okay. And thank you everyone that has commented, watched, liked, subscribed, and especially
do please subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you know that. Throw us an old like, because YouTube likes to stroke our egos with the likes.
It does. We like to stroke our own egos. And also a big, massive thank you to the Outlaw Barber, Patrick and Christy. You're legends.
But
Thank you so much.
for all the super chats, guys. Yeah, we'll be going live a couple more times this week. We'll be definitely going live a lot on
Yeah,
Saturday.
and we'll do a lot more lives this year. We really dropped the ball.
And we're going to be kicking into new, say, it's almost like doing the second season of the podcast.
Yeah.
Starting that very soon, getting some guests on. So if you want to become a patron, there's a link in the description there. And
also, if you'd like to leave a comment under this video to see who you'd like us to approach.
Yeah, if there's someone that you'd really like for us to have a chat with,
or if you'd like to bring back the Agony Uncles.
There's definitely
we haven't done one of them in a long time.
Yeah, so we'll be definitely got all those. Christy Bradley says, everyone one day will need some help. So when you can help any little way, it's just the Irish thing, like always saying sorry.
Yes,
he's right.
But there's a lot of Irishisms.
Yeah, true. Right, we'll wrap it up with that, mate. Stephen, we'll chat to you later on, bro. Guys, thanks a lot.
Yeah, good luck.